All right. Our final Women's Alliance initiation meeting.
Yes. It's been 8 months. I can't believe it.
So I think you had some confusion on what initiation meant. A little bit.
Or I didn't hear that word.
Initiation?
Yeah. The final Women's Alliance.
Women's Alliance?
Yep. It's our final story.
Yeah, the final part of the story.
Where my mind went.
We're wrapping up the initiation.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Initiation is when someone really wants to do something, they need to prove it to themselves and others that have already done it. So they go through an initiation.
All right.
You begin. You're an initiate whenever you're a beginner. And then after this, you wouldn't be an initiate, you would be an adept, because I've gone through initiation.
Okay. I've never heard it put that way. That's a whole lot better than my understanding of it. I like that.
I noticed one time whenever we were out, your understanding of it, I was like, anime, and I was like, I don't know if that's right. Because I don't really watch anime, but whenever people talk about what is in anime, I'm like, yeah, that's the spiritual concepts. There's a lot of spiritual concepts within anime, it seems.
Yeah. Yeah. Like one I'm watching right now. From the last episode. Pretty upset with it right now, actually. But it's good.
But yeah, that's what an initiation is. And that's what we've been doing here. We went through a story. And by each of you showing up and by us showing up each and every month to continue to give the story and to continue to receive the story, we're proving that we do want to be a part of this alliance.
Absolutely.
To ourselves, most importantly, but also to others.
Mostly to others. To myself too, but mostly to others.
All right, so let's get into the last part of the story, which I think is the longest one. I was looking at it and I was like, oh man, it's the longest.
It's the last one. It's perfect.
Yeah, it's supposed to wrap it up.
Yes.
All right. And the moon, the full moon that we were working with is the Aquarius full moon at 27 degrees, which is at the root chakra. So we've gone from the crown to the root. And we also had the heart in there in the middle.
We hit every level. Just about.
All right. So, weave. There are floor looms whose warps are weighted with smooth stones strung through their water-worn holes, where you can weave the robes of our sisters. The tablecloths and the sheets on the floor looms in the summer, you can weave all kinds of fabric to be traded for deer meat, rabbit hides, and polished beams of wood from the robin birds who now rove the oak forest. They are the apostles of the man who loved Nain, men who lived up in the trees and inward, and I'm not sure what that was, and the old camps where men had forgotten that to kill and not love was a poison, that one day would swallow them whole. So build the cloth from the nettle thread, the clothes that are built again, the sovereignty of women, string by string, as in the way of little Nain. First, weave a skirt of string and cord for the scutch dance, for the spindle dance, for the dance you feel underneath the ache of your moon blood cycle, for the dance you feel when you see the local birds dancing down through the grass hills of their grandmothers and grandfathers. Weave a string skirt for the dance when the snow geese came landing on the bay, and when they leave again, weave a waistband to sit at the widest part of your hips and allow the weft cords to hang long and oiled by the touch of your hands. The spread laid out before us becomes our warping cords, a story we each have to tell. The 6 shuttles, 2 of moons, and the priestess of feathers. The story of the card is only a warp, and you alone can weave it true or change it altogether. Under, over, under goes the weft nettle cord, back and forth and back again, just like the snow geese. Let the weft cords hang as long as the space of your hips to take the top of your knees, to the top of your knees, and weave the waistband long enough to circle you at least twice. Cut the loops of nettle cord so they can hang free and twine them together at the end using wax from the bumblebee, so that when you sway, the strings may sway too, held in like water to its surface tension at the bottom edge. You can knot the fringe with the polished metal beads forged from the city scraps from long ago. When you put the skirt on, you will feel the weight of that edge, its swing, its life, umbilical, a wind through nettle stalks, a breath of movement not only your own, a sway that makes your hips swivel with the pleasure of it, that makes them smile. This is the skirt that Nain wore at the cusp between worlds, at the end of one world and the beginning of another world. A criss-cross of wefts as when 2 sisters weave one cloth and trade shuttles in the middle. The way 2 mountain lions at the edge of one another's territories cross paths and leave behind their golden fur. Nain wove her 7 nettle string skirts right here, where we offered and harvested, retted, stooked and scutched, carded, spun and woven. Right here, where we heard the story together. Your hips are like the moon that waxes and wanes. When you dance in your string skirt, the cords swaying back and forth across your thighs darken and brighten, hidden and revealing, rounded at every edge. You will know when you have swayed your hips in a skirt of nettle string what it means to give birth to the world of the self. You will know of the powers of women, and you will know at last that dance is the thread between the sorrow and the hunt, between love and the taking of life. The only way we can kill the deer and not also our own hearts. The warps are the latitudes and the wefts are the longitudes in our weaving of our new world. Weaving is building, and one day you might take your 9 years as an apostle of Our Lady Nettles, Saint Nain, and build a new place where women can learn again the miracle of their hands, where the men who have forgotten can remember again that a woman has the webs of making in her palm lines and her swaying hips. Or you might stay here near the bones of Nain and one day catch a glimpse of her yourself, the Lady Nettle, walking in her skirt and striding, just as Nain seen her when she held her stinging hand.
Just imagining it. So pretty.
And that's the story.
So beautiful.
So I said at the beginning of this that I would make of it whatever the ladies that showed up for it. And not very many ladies showed up. a lot of international ladies.
Yeah.
So that made Women's Alliance of Women International. And
Which is awesome.
yeah, and a lot of future ladies. So it made us futuristic too. But my idea for movement was going to be handing out string skirts and just dancing together.
Because no matter if you're good or not, dancing makes you happy.
Mm-hmm. And the best way for us to move is a way that we love to move. And dance is just find your loving movements and do it.
Who cares if you look crazy? Just do it. It's making you happy.
Yeah. So that's the movement exercise for this final one is move in a way that makes you happy.
Just swaying makes me happy.
Yeah.
That works.
So that's our final Women's Alliance initiation series. We do have hope for the future, and it's probably going to transform. We'll see what it turns into, but we're not giving up. We're just beginning.
Just the beginning.
Yes. So thank you all so much for joining me. And as always, be blessed.